Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of the Not So Pro-ducer Podcast. I'm your host, Insko. For this episode, we have a really underrated and talented producer, TR0N. TR0N has been a subscriber of mine for a little while now. I made a video with him a little while ago as well. TR0N produces similar kind of music to me, and in my opinion, he is so much better of a producer than me. And I think considering we both like the same kind of thing, I think this podcast is going to be a good one. So let's get into it.
The Not So Pro-ducer Podcast.
What's up? My name is TR0N. I'm 17 from Ohio, and I make melodic dubstep music.
Okay, so obviously I know you from my YouTube. I'm pretty sure you're just a subscriber, right?
Yeah, I started watching your videos. The first one I saw, I think, was the Fallen Embers tier list video.
Oh, okay, that's one of the ones that a lot of people saw, because it's like one of my most popular videos, along with the Fallen Embers album reaction as well, I think.
Yeah. Actually, I think it might have been that one before the tier list, and then I kind of binged a lot of your YouTube videos and listened to your music.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, so I was just following you for a while, and I saw the Song Split video, and I was like, might as well reach out and see if I can get on, and luckily you replied, so...
Yeah. I mean, I'm always checking my emails and like my Instagram DMs and stuff.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know and who are listening to the podcast, Song Split is a little challenge that I kind of came up with. It's basically where two music producers kind of make half of a song each, and then you put it together after an hour, and then you hear like the full song. I think you was it the third one or the fourth one? I don't know how many I've done now.
I believe it was the third one.
Okay, yeah, either way, I remember it being pretty good. You done the drop. Again, I don't think I've actually done the drop yet on one of them, which is quite upsetting.
It's definitely the wheel you're using
It must be.
Yeah.
It's actually mugging me off. Anyway, so one of my first questions was, what music do you make? You said you make melodic dubstep. How long have you been doing that for?
Actually, that's more of a recent thing. So I've been producing for 4-ish years now, I'd say. And in the beginning, I was just messing around because I was really into like rock and metal music at the time.
Okay.
When I first started producing. Somehow I discovered deadmau5. And this seems to be like a pretty common thing where deadmau5 is like a lot of people's introduction into EDM in that scene.
Yeah.
So I discovered deadmau5 and started trying to make, that kind of like progressive house style music. I kept going into that genre until I saw on my YouTube recommendation, like Illenium Needed You. And that song definitely like completely changed how I approached like production, like inspired me more than any other song ever has. Like that's probably one of my favorite songs of all time.
Yeah.
Just because of how it affected my production and everything like that.
That's mad. So it's literally like if YouTube didn't recommend that to you,
I don't think I would be where I am as a musician right now. It's crazy to think about.
That is really mad. That's one of those things that you kind of think, if that didn't happen, then your whole life would be like round the other way. Weird.
I remember watching that video and being like, Dad, listen to this song.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like that now. My mom used to listen to a lot of rock music and that kind of stuff when I was younger, and that's kind of what I got brought up on. And then when I found out about electronic stuff, I think it was like Martin Garrix and stuff like that first.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But I would go on YouTube and just search like loads of random songs, and I found these YouTube channels that would have like electronic songs, and a lot of it was future-based back then, but I didn't really pay attention to genres or the artists or anything. I just liked songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually realized when I got more into Illenium, maybe like a year later, I realized that some of the songs that I was listening to then were actually Illenium songs. I just never really paid attention to who the artist was.
Oh, yeah. Was that during like the Ashes, like after he released Ashes?
Yeah, I think it was. There's a song, I'm going to try and find it on Spotify while I talk.
I feel like Spirals was the big one for a lot of people. Off of that album anyways.
I'll know what it is when I see it, but I can't think of what it is off the top of my head, but I think it is on Ashes.
I mean, it's insane to think about how big of an influence Illenium has had on EDM.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Crazy.
He's easily like the most popular, like melodic bass producer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, that was it. It was on his second album, Awake. I randomly found the song Beautiful Creatures with Max.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
I absolutely loved that song. And I used to have like a YouTube playlist full of music, and that was one of the songs on there. And then I found out about him. I went and listened to the rest of the Awake album, and then listened to Ashes as well. And then while I was actually a fan of him at that point, that's when he released Ascend.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I think that album I probably like the most out of all of them, because I actually was a fan of him when it came out and listened to it all on release day and everything, and it was great.
Awake is my personal favorite, but I know that's like not an unpopular opinion by any measure of the imagination.
Oh no, Awake is an amazing album. There's so many great songs on that. It's just, I don't know, I think Ascend, I just like it because of that attachment to it, of like, that's the first proper album that came out while I was a fan, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think now, listening to his albums again, I find more replayability in Ascend than I do Awake. But I think Awake is still my favorite just because of my attachment to it and how it influenced my own music.
Yeah, which is fair enough. So you were saying that you liked rock music and all of that before coming across Elenium, right?
Yeah.
What bands were your go-to?
I was really into metalcore at the time, so like the Amity Affliction, Motionless in White.
Okay.
Bands like that were a really big influence, and then of course, you know, like My Chemical Romance and all of those types of bands.
Yeah.
Those were my main, and I still listen to rock music now. Like some of the newer bands that I really like are Nothing More and Starset. Those are both two really good bands that still influence me a lot in my production, because what I've been trying to do is put a lot of my old influence in terms of like the rock and metal into my electronic music production. You can hear that in like my music. Like my first single was there was a guitar solo over the entire backing song for the EDM song, and then my Oblivion had like screaming vocals and rock guitars over it.
Yeah. Oblivion was the one that I checked out first from you after getting the email about being on SongSplit.
Yeah,
because obviously I wanted to check out some of your stuff to kind of hear what music you've done, because I've got DMs before on messages where it's like people wanting to collab on a song or whatever, and then it's like they've just started making music or whatever.
Oh, I see.
And you know, you don't want to be mean and be like no, but at the same time it's like, well, you kind of need to have a bit more practice.
Definitely, yeah.
You know, I mean, everyone has to start somewhere, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So you were saying about the rock solo or the guitar solo on one of your songs. Do you play guitar?
I do play guitar. So in that song, it was actually a guitarist I found on Twitch named Jason Masood. I think everyone should check him out if you get the chance. He's so entertaining, and we still talk and make music together to this day. That's how I met him. I sent in my song to him for Twitch, and he would like solo over people's songs.
Oh man!
And he soloed over my song. That solo he played was one take.
Oh, crazy! Okay.
I know. It was absolutely insane.
Is he someone that you randomly came across on Twitch then?
Yeah. And I think Twitch is a super powerful way to make connections nowadays.
Oh, definitely. 100%.
Like the amount of producers that I have met through Twitch is insane. Feedback streams were the number one thing that helped me improve my music.
Same.
Without Twitch feedback streams, I would not be where I am right now.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that.
And I am like so thankful to a lot of those feedback streamers, because I did like a few feedback streams myself, and my God, are they fucking exhausting.
I know. I used to do them in like 2018, maybe 2019 as well. And that was before I even like knew half of what I was doing with music.
Oh yeah.
And I'd sit there and I'd react to all of these songs, and I'd always try and give some sort of feedback that would be useful, not just be like, oh, this is good or oh, this is bad.
Exactly.
But the amount of people that always come in and be like, oh, can you give me feedback on this? And then you have like a list of like 30 people that you're trying to give feedback to.
And a lot of them are just doing it for promotion and not actually feedback.
Yeah. It's the actual people that come in, follow you, stay and give feedback, and also give other people feedback as well. They're the ones that are actually like the proper ones, because other people just kind of come in and go, oh, listen to my beat,
and then leave.
And then it's like, okay, great. Yeah, appreciate that. Mm-hmm. But it's just one of those things. And I'd done it for quite a while, but then I just kind of gave up in the end because it wasn't something that I really wanted to do long term. I mean, I met a lot of amazing music producers for it, and some of them I like still follow on Instagram and I'm in touch with.
Oh, yeah.
They're like really underrated music producers. But the majority of people are just the kind of people that kind of come and go, which is a little bit unfortunate, but is what it is.
In my opinion, it's definitely worth it in terms of like finding those like super small artists that make absolutely incredible music. Like, and then you have like this nice little like, look at what I found. Like there's that pride behind it kind of.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I still go around Twitch at the moment and get feedback on all my songs because
yeah, me too.
Getting as many opinions as possible on something really helps out. And I've said this for ages. I've said the best way to improve, in my opinion, is to obviously practice. But then if you can get as many opinions on something as possible, if, say, like say you get feedback on a song from 10 different people and 8 out of 10 people are saying that your vocal's too loud,
Yeah.
chances are your vocal is probably too loud. So it's things like that. Instead of just going to one person and going, oh, this person said that I should redo my drop, I'm going to completely redo my drop.
Especially like if it's a friend or a family member, like they have an extreme bias. They're going to sugarcoat everything they're saying.
100%.
Versus going to like some stranger, like they have no reason to be like, yeah, it's okay. When in reality, they can be like, hey, you need to fix this, this, and this.
Yeah, and especially those people that know what they're talking about as well.
Oh, yeah. People with trained ears and stuff like that. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's definitely a useful thing. If anyone who is listening to this produces music and you aren't getting feedback on Twitch, do it. I actually do feedback live streams myself. I call them reacting to your songs, but I do it on the first Monday of every month live on my YouTube. So if you want feedback on your songs, go on my Discord, send it in the Send Your Songs channel. And then that's a little way to get feedback from me. I also get feedback and give feedback from like DMs as well. So if anyone who's listening does want feedback, then that's the way to do it.
I do want to like warn people that you do need thick skin if you are not prepared to have your music absolutely torn to shreds, because it will be. But it's important to be able to get through that, especially if you are taking music seriously. You need to be able to deal with that kind of stuff and take it with a grain of salt.
Because people's opinions are definitely what matter, but at the same time, they're not always correct.
And especially the more feedback streams you go to, you'll start having a list of these few streamers that give you really good feedback and aren't complete assholes. And then once you get like that list of people that you can consistently go to, you don't have to constantly risk going to like a new streamer and having to wait an hour just to hear, yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Do you have a list then? Do you have a list of good people?
There are a few. So I did have a list. Unfortunately, a lot of these people have like stopped streaming, which is really sad, but I do have like a nice little list of people that I know I can go to.
Okay, I might have to steal that list off you because I don't really have a list.
I can give you some people.
I appreciate it. Okay, so you were saying about taking music seriously when you were saying about people having thick skin, right?
Yeah.
Would you say that you take music seriously in the sense of like, this is what you want to do with your life?
Definitely. It has been a struggle for the past few months because my PC just completely stopped working and I had to reinstall everything. All my plugins were gone. All my music files were gone.
Oh, that's pain.
Some of them have been recovered, but not all of them. So it's definitely been tough, but I know like getting through the like stages of writer's block and the, technical problems and all that, and like coming out of that will just like give me more drive to do better.
I was going to say, because you have 2 songs on Spotify, right?
Yeah.
And then you have like 2 remixes on SoundCloud?
On SoundCloud, yep.
So are you like planning on posting more stuff to Spotify and that? Or are you going down like the remix route or the original song route?
It's really whatever I can get my hands on. So if a remix opportunity pops up, I'll take it, post it to SoundCloud, do like remix competitions and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Right now, just trying to find vocalists has been the main thing. So I know the vocalists you gave me, we're currently trying to work on something, but with the whole computer thing, it's been tough. So
yeah,
once I get that file recovered, we'll start actually getting stuff down for that, and that could definitely be definitely be a future release. And then there are a few other songs that I have ready for a vocalist. I just need to start looking.
Yeah, I know your pain on that one. I mean, whole of 2020, I was on a record label and I was putting out songs literally just using vocal samples. I would like go on Splice, go on all these different websites trying to find vocal samples. But it's a good thing because in a way you can kind of treat your song like a remix, and sometimes that helps because you've almost got like an idea to go off.
Yeah, true.
But at the same time, it's not as original as you'd want it to be because you don't have control of like how they're singing or what they're saying, or
the harmonies.
You can't really make a story up. Yeah, and harmonies and stuff as well. So it's like, as much as it is great to use vocal samples, and even now I still mess around with some stuff, it is better to actually approach vocalists and kind of be like, hey, let's make a song. But
100%.
It is hard to come across vocalists. I wish there was like some sort of easy way to actually have like a list of people who are like making specific genres of music and stuff like that. Like if there was some sort of website, there probably is a website for it, I just don't know of it.
Exactly.
If there was some sort of website where it's like, there's a bunch of music producers, here's a bunch of vocalists, they make this style of music and they sing on this style of music.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then you can like exchange contact info and stuff. Like that'd be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the moment my list of like vocalists that I know is really, really short.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, this year I really want to try and expand that list and actually work more vocalists, because last year I worked with 2 and it was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, working with vocalists is amazing.
Yeah, you actually get to sit down and be like, right, let's make a song about this.
Yeah.
And then kind of bounce off each other with like feedback on stuff, and it's great.
And then, so you were talking about the getting a vocal and making a song with the vocal.
Yeah.
So like I didn't win one of these remix competitions that I entered, but I feel like what I did was really good and like it could definitely be released as a full song.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to do right now is just remove the stems from the original remix, replace it with my own stuff, and then send that out to a different vocalist who can do something new on it.
Yeah, that's a sick idea. Yeah, I thought of doing some stuff like that before, where I've kind of like used a remix competition and downloaded all of the stems and then entered it, and then obviously not won it.
Yeah.
And then be like, well, I like this, but now I have all of the stems in the song. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's a good idea to take it all out and kind of start fresh on some of the other elements and then turn it into an original song. That is a really good idea.
So that's what I'm trying to do right now, and then I'm looking at a few vocalists that I can hopefully get to do vocals for that specific song, because I feel like that has a lot of potential to be my next release, and it like goes well with what I've done with my other releases and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, this one I already know the answer to, but I thought it'd just be cool for you to say on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I use FL Studio to make music. What do you use?
So that is a good one. Because I use Studio One, which is apparently the biggest minority for DAWs on the planet.
Yeah, I don't know anyone that uses it other than you.
I mean, hey, I really like it. It works really well for what I do. I mean, it can do everything that Ableton and FL can do. And that's like the important thing.
Yeah.
I've never been like, oh, damn it, like my music sucks because of Studio One.
Yeah.
Like it's never been the DAW or anything like that. And I really I've been using it since the beginning. It hasn't failed me. So I really have no reason to switch to a major DAW other than like some people that I've tried to collab with have been really pushy about it, but I'm not planning on switching anytime soon, especially with how fast my workflow is. I mean, you look into Song Split video, like I know how to work around Studio One and be really quick with things.
Yeah, when I watched your point of view on that, I was like, you just like whiz around like mad. And I'm like, bro, I've been doing music for like 6 years on FL, and I don't think I can move around that quick and come up with stuff that quick. It was mad. Like what you made in that 1 hour for that Song Split video, when I was watching it, I was like, that would have taken me like hours, like easily hours.
I mean, I've had specifically with like melodic dubstep, I've just had so much practice. I have so many songs that I could easily like release if I got a vocalist for them. This isn't good, but I hold myself to a super high standard. Like if the song I release isn't as good as the last song I released, I have to believe that my new song is better than the previous 2 that I've released, which is bad because it kind of puts me into like a hole.
Yeah.
That I'd be like, I need to be better. When in reality, the songs that I have would probably be perfectly fine to release.
Yeah, but at the same time, it means that you're not going to put out anything that you don't like, which is good, because some people do just go, oh, you know what, I've been working on this too long, this will do, I'll just put that out. And you got to like your own music before you put it out.
Exactly.
Right?
No, I agree 100%.
So in a way, yeah, it's a bit annoying that you kind of have high standards for yourself in terms of like, it has to be better than the last one. But I guess it also means that if you make a song and then you're like, oh, okay, I'm not feeling this, like this isn't better than my last one, you could leave it for like months and then come back to it and be like, actually,
and have fresh ears.
Yeah, because when you're working on a song for hours on end,
you get ear fatigue very fast.
Yeah, so sick of it, which again is why getting feedback and getting other people's opinions is so useful, because hearing something over and over and over, even if it's just tweaking like a little part of a vocal or whatever, it gets really annoying, which I think for me, my favorite part about releasing music is the time between finishing a song and releasing it, because it's just You're not working on the song.
Exactly. It's done.
You're just waiting for the song to come out. It's nice and peaceful. We haven't got to stress about anything. Everything's scheduled. Everything's ready to go. It's great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, obviously, I love making music, but it's just nice to kind of take a break and know everything's done. You don't have to mess around with it anymore.
And especially for feedback streams, once you get good at music and you start like seeing people like genuinely be like, yo, this is so good, and like genuinely really enjoying your music, it's like nothing compares to that feeling.
Yeah, definitely.
Of seeing someone just absolutely going crazy to your song.
Yeah, it's great. It almost feels like you're doing something right, which sometimes you need that. So talking about music, I don't know why I said talking about music, because that's always all we've been talking about. Do you study any music at all? Have you studied music, or are you studying music?
So I'm still in high school, right? So I took a music theory class my freshman year, but my dad is a pianist and he's played guitar for a long time, and he really helped in terms of like music theory and chords and like writing.
Yeah, I bet.
And I think that super helped with like my foundation in music, is that I had like a good solid foundation in terms of writing music, and then I was able to build on like the technical stuff later. So I took a music theory class in high school, but that's about it. And I am planning on going to college for like music industry and music technology.
I mean, I do music at university at the moment, and I also done music at college, but I mean, it's still at the moment kind of like feeling like I still taught myself everything, and I haven't really learned a lot from anything else. But obviously that's just the things that I've been studying, and I know that it's probably different over there. Like, you could probably go to something that is specifically about, I don't know, like sound design or making certain types of music and stuff like that. It's a lot more kind of detailed.
Yeah.
Whereas here it's kind of like, hey, you want to do music at university, then you're going to have to learn about like the culture of music and all of this stuff, rather than just like production, which is obviously what I care the most about.
Yeah.
So you were saying that your dad's a pianist and a guitarist. Is your dad the only person in your family that plays instruments?
Yes. So, well, in my immediate family anyways, and I definitely got all the genetic music stuff anyways, is all from him. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I had someone like that, because in my family, I'm literally the only person that does anything to do with music. And it would be nice to know someone that's obviously family that would be able to teach me stuff like that. Because when I was younger, I wish that I kind of got told to learn guitar, or like recommended to learn guitar, especially because I said like my mom was really into rock kind of stuff. It would have been cool to be like, learn guitar, but now I'm like, got a guitar and I don't really know what I'm doing with it, but it would be really nice to learn it one day.
I mean, I'm very thankful that he forced me to play instruments at a young age.
Just out of curiosity, what does he think of the music that you listen to now?
So he likes it. I mean, he obviously thinks all the melodic dubstep stuff sounds the same, which is true to a certain extent, and I can't blame him for that. He's not the biggest fan of me playing my, EDM playlist in the car when we're going places, because he's heard all those songs a million times at this point.
Yeah.
But no, he definitely likes the genre of music, and he's very open to other genres of music and stuff like that.
Okay, that's good then. Yeah.
Which is good. He's not like if you don't like rock music, you don't like real music. He's not like that kind of person. I'm
going to be completely honest. I hate people like that.
Oh, me too.
Who are like, oh, electronic music isn't real music because it's not real instruments. I'm like, mate.
It pisses me off.
What are you on about?
There is so many real instruments in EDM now, too.
I know.
Especially the melodic genres of EDM, but try to find a song that doesn't have guitar or piano in it.
Yeah, it's true.
It's difficult.
So, you obviously liking rock music previously. You were saying that you're trying to kind of take that influence more into your songs now.
Definitely, yeah.
Could we potentially see something that's like maybe more heavier side of melodic dubstep? Like, you know how Millennium does like heavier songs?
I would love to do that. Like Story of My Life, yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to do something like that. I've like produced songs that kind of incorporate a lot of that heavier stuff into it, but finding a vocalist who can do that genre of like post-hardcore vocals, close to impossible.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, it's hard enough to just find a normal vocalist at the moment, right?
Nonetheless, one that, can still have the ability to a pop song with like metal vocals styles,
Yeah.
Because in the end, that's what a vocalist for an EDM song is doing. They're basically writing a pop song over your EDM music
Yeah.
because it needs to be catchy and stuff like that. And that vocal hook is going to play a big part in how successful your song is.
Yeah.
And I think I got really lucky in terms of Slid V, the vocalist for Oblivion. Is like the hook on that song is really good.
Yeah, I like that.
And I think he did a really good job with the melodies on that song. And then trying to find that and also with the post-hardcore style of vocal is so difficult.
Yeah, I mean, one day.
I mean, I can't reach out to someone I know like who's famous and be like, "Hey."
Yeah, I wish. But just like, oh, I'm just gonna message some famous singers real quick, see if they're down to make a song. So speaking of like Elenium and all that kind of stuff, do you think there is any like melodic dubstep or future bass producers that you listen to that you kind of feel like not many people know? Maybe some that are underrated, or if there isn't, who would you recommend? Like, say somebody's gonna go check out some melodic dubstep stuff. Who are your like go-to artists that you think they should check out?
I'll answer the second part of that question first. So I think in terms of like someone new going into melodic dubstep, I think definitely like older Elenium music. I think because if you listen to Fallen Embers, maybe like 2 or 3 songs on that are like melodic dubstep, like in its purest form. So I'd say like listen to Ascend. I think that's like a really good intro album into melodic dubstep. I think Nurko is basically a staple at this point for melodic dubstep.
Yeah.
He's basically figured out the formula for that and nailed it.
But last year was mad for him. Like, seriously.
Oh yeah.
I found out about Nurko like just before he started taking off properly. I think it was like one of his first uploads on like Proximity on YouTube or something.
Oh really?
Yeah, and I liked his music then, and then all of a sudden it's like he'd done a remix for an Elenium song, and then there was talks about him doing a song with Elenium, and then he done a song with Davin, and I think he's even done a song with William Black. It's like he's just absolutely took off last year.
His collab with Adventure Club and Dayseeker on vocals, so good. Colorblind, I love that song so much.
Yeah, it's a great song. He has so many great songs.
And in terms of answering the question of like who are like the underrated, Nicodemus. Everyone should be listening to Nicodemus. He's definitely like, he's next up. I mean, even Elenium Intel uploaded a video of the unreleased Nicodemus remix of You and Me that Elenium performed live. So underrated. Nicodemus is insane. I think everyone should be listening to him. On like the super small end, there is a melodic dubstep artist named Electrospector. And he's like taught me things too. He's really good, and he's super small, like super small.
Yeah,
and he deserves so much more recognition because his production is absolutely insane. He's been producing for 12 years, like
mad,
absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I'll have to check those out.
Nicodemus is really good.
I've never heard of either of them,
and he like responds to fans and everything like that. Like I've messaged him, and he's giving me feedback on music and stuff like that. So I would definitely check him out.
Yeah, I will do actually after the podcast because I haven't heard of either of them, and I'm always looking for new artists that I like and want to listen to all the time and stuff. So I'll definitely check those out.
I would listen to All the Same by Nicodemus would be my first recommendation because that's the song that I discovered him through.
Right. So another question to do with you putting out music: do you know how to like promote yourself? And I'm saying that in terms of just in general, because I know that there's so many people that just kind of go, I'm going to put this song out and that's it.
And that never works.
Yeah, I've tried to be like running Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all of this kind of stuff. And now I'm finding out other ways to kind of promote my music and stuff. And it's something that I definitely want to get better at this year. But I just wondered if there's like any go-to ways that you kind of do. I've looked at your Instagram and I've seen like you don't really post a lot on there. Is that something that you're going to try and get better at, or is it something that you're not really bothered about?
Oh, 100%. Definitely Instagram is something I want to focus on a lot more this year. Also, you're following... Which account are you following? Are you following the Tron official account?
Probably.
I am not active on that account anymore, like at all.
Okay.
My main Instagram account is just my name, Grant Hedin, and I'm starting to post a little bit more on there and trying to grow that a little bit. But the main way I promoted Oblivion, and I personally think I did a pretty good job of spending, especially with how little money I had to spend on it. We did Facebook and Instagram ads, and then we did playlist submissions.
Yeah.
Like I hated playlist submissions so much. I feel like it's necessary to do, but just what you get out of it makes it feel worthless.
Yeah, what websites are you using for that?
Submit Hub. I mean,
Oh, same.
in the long run, I think it was worth getting those 2 playlists for the song because I still get like 10 streams a day on Oblivion.
Yeah.
And that's because of those playlists. But my God, having like someone say, this is the best song I've ever heard, but it's not going on our playlist. Like, I'm like, why?
Bro, that's so relatable. I have that all the time. People be like, oh, this song's really great. I love this, and I love this, but I'm not adding it to my playlist. And you're like,
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's the most useless bit of feedback ever. It's just pointless. But it's one of those things. It's like, I think I probably submitted to maybe like 20 playlists on there for my song Not Okay. And I probably got in 2. And I spent like, I don't know, like £30 on it, which I guess isn't too bad. My plan now is I have a job. So my plan is to put some money aside every month to be like, right, this is my music promo money. And then I think my next go-to strategy that I've seen a lot of people say works is to make your own Spotify playlists.
Oh, okay.
Like make playlists that are made for different genres of music, whether it be like a non-copyrighted one or some other stuff like that, and then spend money on ads to grow those playlists.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of chuck your songs in there, and then you can then apply on like Submit Hub and stuff like that to be a curator.
Oh yeah, for sure.
People will be sending you their songs, and then if you like them, you can add them. So that's going to be my plan this year. It's something that I'm gonna try and work on.
I think I'm going to focus a lot on the Facebook and Instagram ads and really like squeezing every ounce of promotion I can get out of those, because those can be really powerful.
Yeah.
You just have to like learn your target market and like really focus on it, which can be difficult to do in the beginning, especially if you don't like have any numbers that give you like a realistic representation of what your audience looks like.
Yeah.
But I think I'm going to attempt to really focus in on that and figure that out and see what I can get out of it.
Yeah, see, this is the thing that a lot of people, I feel like, don't realize. Like, us as music producers, it isn't just a matter of make a song. It's a matter of obviously making the song, but then it's also a matter of
the song,
knowing how to promote your song and learning about that, and then also posting and trying to, I guess, stay relevant, if that makes sense. And even sometimes doing things like cover art as well. I mean, some people don't pay for cover art and stuff. I didn't for ages. I just got my granddad to paint me cover art, but now I've kind of got more into the maybe I should make something or get something a bit better. Speaking of cover art, I mean, your cover art for your song Oblivion looks sick.
Fiverr.
Like, how did that happen?
Fiverr. Yep.
Fiverr's great for things like that. I've got a lot of stuff through Fiverr.
I personally think it was the like $60 I spent, whatever it was definitely worth it. I'm so happy with how the cover art for that song turned out.
Yeah, it's really sick. I really like it. See, getting people to kind of do stuff like that on Fiverr where they actually know what they're doing instead of trying to figure out how to do it yourself.
Oh yeah.
It's better. I mean, obviously it's costly, but it's great. I mean, the person who done my cover art for Not Okay was someone that I kind of knew for ages, but never really spoke to. And he made music. He was actually on, I think it was the last episode of this podcast.
Awesome.
He goes by the name of I'm Down Bad now. But he used to go by the name of Looper with his music.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, he charged me like a decent price for it, but it was so sick. Like, the outcome, I was really happy with it. And it was nice to be able to kind of support someone that I knew for so long as well.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to check out Fiverr in the future, though, just to kind of see what's over there. Maybe there's something that could be a bit more of a different style or something. I've gone to Fiverr for Twitch emotes, you know, like the emotes that you get in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
I got one of those made over there. And I also have a friend who does live streaming as like her job. And she always goes to Fiverr and stuff for that as well. So yeah, Fiverr's great. I mean, you don't really see a lot of music producers over there, I feel like. I think you see a lot of rappers mostly, and then singers and stuff. And I do hopefully in the future want to make a video where it's like, you know, when they do like a $10 versus $100. I'd love to be able to make one of those videos. That's why I'm like so happy I have a job now. I'm like actually going to put some money behind some of the stuff I do.
That's exciting.
One of the things I was also going to talk about is TikTok. Is TikTok something that you would do?
Yes, but I don't even know where to start with that. I mean, I feel like I definitely have some ideas of what I could do in terms of I mean, one, I don't have a song to promote on it yet, so there's kind of no point.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been thinking about it for a while. It just seems so weird. I guess
Yeah,
is
I
the
get
best way
that.
to describe it. Especially for the EDM scene. You know, I feel like a lot of the way people promote music on TikTok is they're just sitting in their car singing along to their pop song, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that with an EDM song to the extent that you can with a pop song.
Yeah, that's been my issue as well. It's like, I feel like a lot of people, the way that they advertise their songs on TikTok, kind of either sing their song or they do like guitar covers to kind of like grow a bit and all this stuff. And I'm here like, I don't sing, I don't play any instrument, I make electronic music. How am I meant to put content on TikTok?
Exactly.
Like, hey guys, I just made this snare. What do you think of this snare? It's just like, I can't think of anything to do.
There's one producer that I follow named Arcando. He's like a pretty big producer now. He just hit like 1 million monthly listeners. That his TikTok, I'm probably going to do what he did or like similar stuff to what he did on his TikTok in order to promote, because his promotion for his music, like his marketing is insane and he does a great job. His music's really good. He releases consistently.
Yeah.
So I think trying to model my releases marketing off of him is going to really help.
Yeah, is he an electronic producer?
Yeah, his music is really good. I really like his music too.
So he's kind of like found his niche in TikTok.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's someone I know who is a friend of a friend who does TikTok, and he has like 500K on TikTok. Is like quite popular. He does rapping though, so it's kind of like,
oh yeah.
In a way, it's a bit easier for him to kind of come up with content. Yeah, I mean, he was doing a live stream the other night, and I was just watching him, and he was in the studio, and he said that he was in the studio for 12 hours that day, and he made 3 songs, I think he said. But bearing in mind, he doesn't produce his own stuff, so he is just writing and rapping, which, don't get me wrong, it probably isn't easy, but in my head, I'm like, it must be a little bit easier to make music, because I don't think I could make 3 songs in 12 hours.
Neither could I. But I definitely feel like being in a studio environment and having like a bunch of people would help me so much.
Yeah, 100%.
In terms of just like getting inspiration, getting ideas thrown at me. I mean, John Bellion has a YouTube video of like him making the song Guillotine.
Bro, I love watching those videos by him. I've watched all of the making of videos.
Oh, me too. And he has like so many people that are like helping him, throwing out ideas. And I think it's that collaboration that really helps speed up the workflow. And that's how you see these bigger producers get out songs so fast. Like, I mean, Elenium, for instance, gets sent acapellas, and then he produces to those acapellas. Like, he has something to base stuff off of, which I think when you're starting out makes it a lot more difficult to be able to be consistent.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely easier to start songs off and stuff like that when you're actually with people. It's that other thing of just getting other people's opinions, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what it is. So going back to someone you just mentioned a minute ago, John Bellion. What's your favorite John Bellion song?
Ooh. I mean, probably Guillotine, to be honest.
Yeah, I love Guillotine. Such a great track.
The bass line on that bass
yes,
hook.
That's exactly why I like it as well. It's so groovy.
And those like chords, that pad sound.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
We are the most generic music producers, bro. We're like, those chords, man. Those chords are so sick. I remember literally like 2 weeks ago, I was in the kitchen with my mum, and she has like a Google Assistant. And it was playing Guillotine by John Bellion, because she likes John Bellion now because of me. I was like, literally, this song is just sick, because like, listen to that bass. And she's like, right, yeah. And I'm like, the chords there, and then the way that that's layered. And she's like, yeah, it's great. Yeah, really good song.
I always accidentally nerd out about music production in front of friends or family, and they're all like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, bro, same all of the time. Luckily, one of my best friends now he produces his own music as well. So
oh, that's good.
If I want to like nerd out about some music stuff, it's like, oh, someone actually understands what I'm going on about. Whereas my other friends, it's like, yeah, no clue. Yeah, I think that's everything that I had written down. Is there anything that you wanted to talk about in particular?
Oh, did you see the Story of My Life remix competition?
I did, and I was upset because it's American only.
Oh, it is?
It is American only.
Really?
Yeah, because when I went to go on it, it said that it wasn't available in my region and that it's only in America, and I was like, it's really sad.
That's so bullshit.
Have you entered it, or are you going to enter it?
Yeah, so I have a little whip right now, but I don't know. I feel like I accidentally made it too cinematic, and I don't know.
Okay, well, after the podcast, show it to me, because I'm curious.
Oh, I will, yeah.
Yeah, it just makes me jealous, man, because in a way I was kind of like, do I just use a VPN, download the stems, and then just chuck it on YouTube or something? But
I mean, why not? I think even if you don't like enter the remix competition, I think it would still be good to try to remix it, you know?
yeah, that's true.
Just for practice or inspiration.
I mean, it's not often that you get to remix an Millennium song,
A
eh?
Millennium song. Exactly.
If there's a song that I like, I struggle to then remix it.
Really?
So, like, sometimes I like a song and then all of a sudden, oh, there's a Skill remix competition or whatever for it. I'll be like, oh, I really want to remix it because I love this song. But then when I, like, chuck the vocal into FL Studio or whatever, I'm just like, okay, I keep just trying to make the original song.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I get no new ideas because I've heard the original song so much. Like, I love Story of My Life.
I think changing the chord, yeah, me too. It's one of my favorite Millennium songs.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
I don't know, like, it's so good.
Heavy Edit?
Heavy edit.
Yeah, 100%. Heavy Edit's like the best. I played it so much when it came out.
Me too, yeah. It was on repeat for a while for me. I think in terms of, like, getting a new remix, changing the chord progression, in my opinion, is one of the most important things you should do.
Yeah.
In terms of being able to inspire yourself. Because when you change the chord progression, you can see different ways it could go that wasn't like the original, because you're changing the progression of the song.
Yeah, I see that. But then the issue with me is that my music theory is absolutely terrible. So if I try and change the chord progression, I'll be messing around with it, realize it don't work, and then get annoyed and just close it. That's normally my process. Well, anyway, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast.
Thank you.
If you're listening to this on Spotify, make sure to give it a like. I think you can save it to your library. And if you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts, you can do the same thing. If you're watching it on my YouTube channel, subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like. Let us know what you thought of the episode down in the comments. And yeah, thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.
See ya.